The Simblee is an Arduino compatible BLE module that hit the market about a year ago. Is it good for your project? Find out in this review. It wasn't too long ago where we had to deal with EEPROMs. EEPROMs are electrically programmable read-only memory. It involved having to place the EEPROMs into a special programmer to program them, which would take some time and was about as boring as the last 15 seconds of this video. And additionally, to erase them, you had to take them out and put them into a special device which shined ultraviolet light on them. These days, it's so much easier. We have devices such as Arduino, we have MCUs with inbuilt flash on board. What?
Introducing the new Lilypad Simblee containing the all-new Simblee BLE module. This Simblee module is packed with features such as an ARM Cortex-M0 MCU with onboard 16MHz and 32kHz crystals, 24K RAM and 128K flash, battery monitoring, AES encryption, temperature sensor, integrated low-latency high-performance Bluetooth antenna, 29 GPIO pins, allowing any pin function to be redirected to another pin, 6 ADC, 2 PWM, 2 master-slave SPIs, 2 ITC and 1 UART, capable of running off 1.8 to 3.6 volts, all in one tiny surface mount package. But wait, there's more! This little marvel has advanced power modes such as 600 nanoamp ultra low power sleep mode or 4 microamp low power mode. Run it on a coin cell battery for years, and it draws only 8 milliamps while transmitting and 10 milliamps while receiving. But wait, there's more! Yes, you almost can't believe it! Not only does this little marvel allow you to use the Arduino IDE for programming, it also allows you to create Android or iOS applications from within the Arduino IDE. That's right, you heard me correctly! You can create your very own Android or iOS application without having to fire up another IDE or embark on yet another steep learning curve. You want over-the-air programming? You've got it.
So putting away all the hype, does the Simblee do all these things that it claims? Let's find out. First, let's take a look at the hardware. The Lilypad only puts out 7 of the 29 GPIO ports that the Simblee is capable of. But remember that any pin is functionally reprogrammable, so you can move, for example, the I2C bus around to any other pin you want. The one really nice feature of the Lilypad is it has inbuilt LiPo connectivity, and at the time I did this review, it was the cheapest way of getting my hands on a Simblee. It has all the usual Arduino features such as reset button, user programmable LED, and it's programmed using a standard 5V FTDI connector. Apparently the 3.3V FTDI connector can't source enough current from the 3.3V rail. From the hardware perspective, the BLE side of the Simblee is, well, frankly, a 4.0 Bluetooth module. Apart from that, it's the usual Lilypad that you've come to expect. Now let's take a look at the software side. The first thing to note with the Simblee is that there is no BLE coprocessor, so everything gets run on the MCU. This means BLE traffic can potentially slow down time-critical applications. Since the Simblee is being heavily marketed as an IoT device, you have to expect some form of strong encryption. The Simblee has an AES encryption engine supporting CBCMAC and CCM, which is the standard recommended by NIST. Frankly, anything less, and I would question it, AES decryption is heavy on CPU, which probably explains the high current draw when receiving. The on-chip bootloader allows you to perform OTA, which works quite well. However, you need to build an iOS or Android application to be able to perform the OTA. I haven't yet seen anyone reverse engineer the OTA protocol, but I'm sure it'll happen. When you download the Simblee board enabler for the Arduino IDE, make sure you get the right version. If you're running 1.6.6 of the Arduino IDE, make sure you get this JSON file. If you are getting this sort of error, then you are probably using the wrong JSON file. And if you've gone and installed an older version of the Simblee board enabler, then make sure you remove it from the Arduino IDE, otherwise you'll get this sort of error. The Simblee API is presented as 4 main libraries. They are Simblee BLE, Simblee COM, Simblee for mobile, and Simblee Cloud. The Simblee BLE API provides all the basic control over the BLE module, while Simblee COM provides basic bidirectional communications between the Simblee module and a device. It has 2 basic functions, send and receive. Simblee for mobile is probably the most interesting API. This is the API that allows you to create iOS and Android applications that will interact with your Simblee. Simblee for mobile provides all the basic graphics and control functions that allows you to create some fairly decent applications. Have a look at my website for further details on what is possible with Simblee for mobile. Then there's Simblee Cloud. This provides a complete IoT architecture for you to use for free. It allows bidirectional communication between nodes and modules, and you can associate arbitrary web pages to your devices. So what's it like in a real world scenario? Well, frankly, it's dead easy. There's a bucket load of examples that they provide. I tried first the LED button example. And yep, it worked as expected. I then tried the temperature application. And yep, that one worked okay as well. One problem I did see was that when you use the Simblee for Mobile API, you need to call a process function within every 2 seconds. Otherwise, the iPhone application will report a lost connection. Next, I took a look at how it would work without using the Simblee for Mobile API, just to see if there was any limitations on the Simblee. So I attached an MPU 6050 IMU to the I2C bus, wrote a simple Sketch and iOS application that would display the IMU data from the Simblee. It performed quite well, and I was probably hitting the peak of BLE transmissions at 12 IMU samples per second. Another issue I found was the Simblee.com API limits data packets to 20 bytes at a time, but this just means you have to provide your own round-robin buffering techniques. So where would you use the Simblee? The small serial packet transmit size and BLE radio priority makes this device useful for ad hoc iBeacon applications that require low power. The long battery life and OTA capabilities makes this a good choice for applications where the device is not easily accessible. Encryption capabilities and Simblee Cloud Platform makes this device a good choice for IoT applications. And how would I rate the Simblee? I'd give it an overall score of 4.5. I quite like this module, and I think I'll run a few tutorial videos on how to use this device in particular scenarios. Thanks for watching this review on the Simblee. If you want further details, you can check it out on my website by clicking the button up here. The next review will be on, what am I doing next? I don't know, you're seeing the schedule. Oh, okay, alright, the next review will be on, how about the Intel Galileo? Don't forget to tell them to subscribe. Okay, don't forget to subscribe.